Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joseph Novichkov, Senior Trading Manager with GDM. Today's outlook. Firstly, we're going to start with the Asian markets. They were mostly higher on Wednesday as they closed with the Hong Kong leading gains and of course several major indices advancing more than 1%. Also looking at the Japan's Nikkei 225 index, which closed up 258 points or about 1.5% at 16,757, with shares receiving an additional boost from a relatively weaker yen against the dollar. As we were tracking the Japanese yen, it remained relatively weaker against the dollar, trading at 109.95, a touch down from the 110 after it traded in the morning. European stocks also extended gains on Wednesday, underpinned by strong US housing data and of course a boost from Asia. In other news, also, we've been tracking the Eurozone finance ministers' agreement with Greece and the International Monetary Fund on Wednesday on what they called a breakthrough, which a deal that will address Athens' requested for debt relief. Of course, the dollar also hit 2-month peak against a basket of major currencies on Wednesday, which was boosted by robust US housing data supporting the case for the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates in the near term. But of course, it fell slightly back in early European trade, with the euro adding about 0.1% to trade at 1.1153 versus the dollar, but remains not far from the 10-week low of 1.1133, which plummeted on Tuesday, when of course it sank 0.7%. Elsewhere in Europe, Brexit continues to sway the pound, which soared overnight when the last poll showed strong support for Britain to remain in the European Union. Of course, the sterling slipped 0.2% to 1.4614 as investors locked in gains after the advance to a 5-day high of 1.4641 struck on Tuesday, when it jumped more than 1%. Gold in the commodity sector dropped to 7-week low on Wednesday, driven by expectations of an early interest rate hike by the US Federal Reserve. Of course, the bullion has taken a beating from the prospect of an immediate rate increase, as indicated by Fed meeting minutes that were released late last week. Gold, as we know, is highly sensitive to interest rates and its gains, which raises the opportunity cost for holdings of the non-interest yielding asset. Gold was up 0.1% at 1227.90 per ounce in late Asian trade, as it fell to 1223 early in the session, which is its lowest since April 7. Oil also pushed closer to the $50 a barrel on Wednesday, when US crude hitting its highest in over 7 months after industry data suggested a larger than expected drawdown in US crude inventories last week. Oil, of course, remained also supported by an overnight surge in US equities and strong home sales that could point to the Federal Reserve raising rates in early as June. US crude futures had climbed 56 cents to 49.80 a barrel after ending the previous session up 54 cents. The benchmark earlier on Wednesday touched its highest since mid-October last year at 49.35. That is also the most important news for today, as well as we're expecting the Bank of Canada to release its interest rate decision later in the trading session. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.